Alrighty. Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic. That's non-classics. This is episode number 2452 and Doubleshot number 2350. Actually, no, it's 2358. 2458 and Doubleshot number 2352. We have Hulk Visionaries Volume 2, which collect issues 340, 348. So we're still continuing Peter David's run the book. With, of course, still Todd McFarlane on the writing, on the artwork here. But he's joined by his future Image co-founder, Erik Larsen. A guy who, according to Liefeld, will basically be one of the three guys that Todd dubbed the Yellow Boys. Liefeld, Larsen, and there was like one other person with last name L. They dubbed the Yellow Boys. That was something that Rob Liefeld loves bragging on this podcast. So, the first issue is, well, a guest appearance by the X-Men. And Hulk is on his own. No Hulkbusters. They were disbanded in the last set of issues. Yeah, and it's mostly put some later X-Men stuff. The lineup for this that appears in this book is where it's the Blackbird. The lineup is Havoc, Rogue, Wolverine, Longshot, Dazzler, and I'm thinking that's Polaris. The one with the purple hair. I think that's her. Yeah, it just that the one thing I've never understood about McFarlane's early artwork, why in the world he has to draw people like they're older than they actually are. Yeah, and then we have the leader who looks... Here's the thing. That is the leader. And you think, you look at like, that's not the leader. That's somebody different. No, that's Sam Stearns. It's just that he's drawn different because it's a different artist. Yeah, most of the Hulk is based Wolverine's in the trail of the Hulk. And and they also reference the first time that Hulk first fought Wolverine back in the 70s. Yes. This mostly put is here. Oh yeah, it's only lasts for one issue. And the only reason why this is here because it's like about the 10th anniversary of Wolverine's debut. And then the very next issue he fights Man-Bull, an old Jerry Conway character, first issue of Daredevil. Yeah, it fights him in this issue. Man-Bull, a guy who at one point claimed he was the Minotaur. And then 342, we deal with Half-Life. That's what he calls himself. Yeah. I had to find these over a couple issues. By the way, it's most of these issues are like, oh, let's have Clay Quartermain and Bruce Banner become road buddies for several issues. And by the way, here's a cover style that McFarlane would rip off himself when he would do issue 300 of the Amazing Spider-Man. Which, by the way, they homaged that cover at least. That cover has been homaged. After that cover came out, that was homaged twice. First by McFarlane himself on issue of Spawn, and the other time was issue, I think it was like 5 or 6 of the Rick Remender Venom run, which he also homaged a Punisher issue. Yep. Yeah. But a lot of times still with Betty Ross in here. Rick Jones in here as well, along with Leader. Yeah, most of what I had to deal with these people for these issues here. But then we have Clay Quartermain going testifying. And then, like, the very next issue, right after this testify, then comes the drastic status quo change. A status quo that will last for quite a while. We're going to Las Vegas in these issues, where the casino, and then we see this big hulking guy. Works as gangster. Also, we also did first appearance of Marlo Chandler. Oh, Mr. Fix-It. Who's Mr. Fix-It, you might ask? Why, it's the Hulk. Yep, Joe Fix-It is the Hulk. Yep. Yeah, and this red-haired girl, this is Marlo Chandler, a.k.a. the future Mrs. Rick Jones. Yep, this is the issue, makes its debut. And then at the end of the issue, the Absorbman shows up to fight the Hulk in the very next issue. Because, Absorbman is also an enemy of the Hulk, just like he fights Thor a lot. It is quite interesting the fact they include him here, and that's it. Yeah. So it's like, okay, so we have road trip, testifying, and then like an abrupt status quo change because, he's moved to Las Vegas. Yep. This book is fantastic. I love it. I'm going to get the book a 10 out of 10. Next up is X Factor Epic Collection. Volume 1, Genesis and Apocalypse. This book collects Avengers 263, Fantastic Four 286, X Factor 1 through 9, the first annual, Iron Man number 8, Amazing Spider-Man 282, material from Classic X 1843. I'm skipping over most because I reviewed this already. I've already reviewed the Avengers Fantastic Four and X Factor number 1, and I've also reviewed issue 9. 9 I reviewed in Mutant Massacre, the first reissue Publishers book. I reviewed that in Fantastic Four John Byrne Volume 7. The Iron Man annual, I reviewed that one in the Iron Man Masterworks. And Amazing Spider-Man number 282 reviewed already. Now, what about... Now, the thing is with Classic X-Men 8 and 43, that is basically the explanation of the retcon that John Byrne had to establish with the whole thing with the Phoenix Force. Yes, right. Now, basically the opening issue... Now, a lot of these are written by Louise Simons or by Walt Simons, obviously, later on. But the various issues are... This book is basically... Roger Stern, John Byrne, Bob Layton, Bob Harris, Louis Simons, Tom DeFalco, Chris Claremont, and Justin Goose. Artwork by John Bushma, John Byrne, Justin Goose, Keith Power, Paul Neri, Bob Layton, Rick Leonardi, Mark Silvestri, Terry Shoemaker, John Boland, and Mike Collins. The X Factor issues cover February 1986 to October of 1986. Now, like I mentioned, we're discussing the opening. We're discussing basically a small number of issues in this trade here, along with the annual. I'm also discussing issues 12 to 20, along with number 2. In X Factor number 2, this is the debut of a character named Tower. You're thinking, who the heck is Tower? He is not that well known of a villain for X-Men. Not really. Tower is a member of the Alliance of Evil. Yeah, most to put the opening issues of this book basically with the groundwork for the Alliance of Evil. Yep, that's most to put exactly what the other members of this group are. Well, Frenzy, who makes his appearance in issue 4, Stinger, issue 5, and Time Shadow. Yeah, mostly put exactly that's what these issues are for. Yeah, Tower's here for the first couple issues of the book, when they fight him. And the also death of Dr. Carl Mickus, who was a character from the pages of Amazing Adventures, who apparently knew Hank McCoy. And at the end of issue, I think it was 3, Hank had Now here's the thing. Since the 70s, Hank was basically a little blue fur thing. Here it's back to his old 60s look. I'm not sure exactly why they decided to do this for. And also, here's the thing about the creative team. The first issue is done by Bob Layton and Justin Goose. Issue 3 is same people, Bob Layton. There's also Artie Marcus, who is Carl's son. And he's here for a pretty good period of time. You might be asking, is he still up here this very day? Yes, he does. As a matter of fact, his last appearance was in issue of Wolverine, the most recent volume. Yep. It's almost like basically Bob Lane wanted to have a loose Amazing Adventures for some reason. I don't know why. It's weird. Issue 4 is the debut of Frenzy, a character who's actually still around this very day as a good guy, though they killed her off recently in Hellfire Gala. In issue 5 is the Brotherhood, the Alliance of Evil. Now, here's the thing about the guy who makes his debut in this issue. This is issue number 5. There is a mysterious benefactor for the Alliance Evil. This was a group formed by a character who everybody knows who this guy is. Now, there's a story I've heard about this particular character, where originally he was supposed to be a different character, but they switched out last minute to a complete original character. Before it gets to that issue, we have to talk about the X Factor annual, where they have to take on the frickin' Soviets, which, yeah, that's really strange that they released the first annual after issue 4. Seriously? Yeah, it's mostly put to take on some Russian characters, like the Crimson Dynamo, an Iron Man villain. You're thinking, okay, interesting. So, yeah, from what I heard, now here's the thing, issue 5 is the debut of a character named Apocalypse. El Salvador, yeah, people know who this guy is. Now, from what I read originally, did you know this guy was supposed to originally, here's the thing, according to the way the silhouette, from what I heard this was supposed to be, it was supposed to be the Owl from Daredevil. But there was some things going on there, and basically, yeah. Issue 5 was basically kind of in the way a silhouette of him. But yeah, here is Apocalypse. In his debut appearance, like first full appearance. And yeah, he's always looked like this. Always. Since his debut. Like the guy has never changed his look at all. It is interesting in the fact this was his first full appearance, mostly. Yeah, and after the Lions Zero, basically, no, they do kill off a character named Michael Nolan. Well, kind of anyways. He was actually resurrected later on. Yeah, so apparently the story of issue 7 led to the end, but for some reason, the end before that one's weird. Yeah, then basically we have debut of some Morlocks. Yep, and then we lead to issue number 8, where it's basically X Factor versus Freedom Force, who want to get their hands on Rusty Collins and Skids. Yes. Like, oh, we're federal agents, and there was a bunch of legal stuff, and this led into issue 9, which I've discussed issues 9 through 11 already, so moving on to issue number 12. Oh, by the way, the new writer of this book is Louise Simonson with Mark Silvestri in the artwork. Yeah, like, after issue number 5, like, they switched to basically Louise Simonson for issue number 6. Justin Gusto in the artwork, but yeah, and then basically, and by the way, the annual, Bob Lane wrote and drew the damn thing. Issue 8 Yeah, Mark Silvestri takes over the book, and then basically then we jump ahead to issue number 12. And this is, of course, just after the events of Mutant Massacre, where Warren's wings were damaged, and Cameron Hodge got his pain to remove them. So, basically, this issue laid the groundwork for the formation of the Horsemen Apocalypse. Death, famine, pestilence, and war. The original versions of them, anyways. Yep. And here's a fun fact. It was later recommended that basically, I think it was Pestilence, I believe it was, decided to have an affair with Apocalypse, and they have a son together. Yep. This is retcon years later that apparently Pestilence slept with Apocalypse. And they have a son together. And the son's currently dead. And Apocalypse is probably disappointed the fact his own son is dead. I think the reason why they created that character was because in the Age of Apocalypse universe, he actually has a son. And he's called Holocaust, and genocide is based upon Holocaust. Yeah. So issue 12 is formation of the Fallen Angels, who will actually get their own spin-off book. Yep. Yeah, Boom Boom is this issue. Boom Boom. You think it was his first appearance? I don't think so. Tabitha Smith. Yeah, a character who later became associated with X-Force. Yes. Yeah, she made her first appearance in Secret Wars number 5. Yeah, that's the thing. Boom Boom's things make things explode. And she's more associated with X-Force than Fallen Angels. Issue 13, they got Master Mold. And there's also hallucinations of Phoenix. There's also some stuff with that one. It would do with Master Mold, who's here for a handful of issues. And then Warren dies by issue 15, but he comes back. And he's turned into the... Well, this is actually a little bit later. He actually turns into a Horseman of Death. There's also Mystique. This weird creature of a person. Yeah, he appears as a villain for a few issues of X Factor. Yeah, he's here for issue like 16. And then he gets moved back over to Uncanny X-Men. Yep, and then by issue 17, Caliban joins him as the tracker. The trainees get Leech. And we also get the debut of Richter. You're thinking, Richter? You mean the character associated who's been in recent time associated with X Factor, and who Rob Liefeld hated the fact that they outed basically one of his characters, Shatterstar, is gay, just so he can have sex, just basically have a make-out kiss with him? Yes, the outed Richter is gay. If you're curious, there's no reason why that period. I never asked him this, but I think I probably would ask him. And then pretty much by issue 18, Cameron Hodge turns against the team. Apocalypse Angel being there. Yes, because of course Cameron Hodge basically forms a group known as the Right. Yes. And then basically now the Four Horsemen made a debut in 15, and in Silhouette they have debut of Death. Oh, by the way, it's actually Famine is the one who actually slept with Apocalypse. Yeah. And she's dead. Yeah, she got killed off issue 816 of Uncanny X-Force. And William, her son, is currently dead. He got killed off in an issue of Uncanny X by Matthew Rosenberg. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly why that Rosenberg killed him off for. I mean, like I mentioned, he's literally just based upon Holocaust and Age Apocalypse. Yep. And then by issue 20, well, basically, we just focus on the X-Men trainees for an issue. And Rogue is in the issue. Well, actually, it's more Jean Grey, but yeah. But then wait a minute. What about the Ninja Second Annual? And number 2 features a team up with the Inhumans. Really fun annual. And Quicksilver goes mad. Of course, his daughter is kind of here as well. Really interesting one. It took place between issues 23 and 24 of the book, but I had to include the Aina because I think came out that period of time. I figured why not. Really good annual. Loved it. By the way, the annual is substituted by Joe Duffy. Art by Tom Greenberg. On case you guys by issue 20. 20 is done by June Bergerman, who does the artwork. But it's still Louis Simonson on the writing here. Eventually, of course, Walt Simonson took over the artwork for the book. And it's a good pairing for the two. But what do I give? Basically, it's X Factor books. I give the X Factor Epic Collection a 10 out of 10. And X Factor numbers 12 to 20, along with number 2, a 10 out of 10. Damn good books. Love them. Okay, so that's pretty much that particular review. I might have time later on for another video, but who knows? Okay, next video. Bye.